I was very confused that time. And the doctor said the doctor cried with me because he see I'm desperate to having my husband back. And I know him for 39 years. Yeah, and I was married for 26 years. But me and him, we didn't believe in the skull because we prayed to our God that nothing will happen with us. I didn't inject me, he didn't inject him because he refused to do it. And I also refused to do it. But I didn't know it's gonna reflect his body like that because he was getting once a year a cold, a very cold, a flu, and he was coughing every year, every year. So I was thinking that coughing get again. On that Sunday, go to church, but he cough, cough. And I say, you can't go to church like that because it's too much. And that Sunday come from church, he got a cold and cold fever. And I tell him he must come and sit in the sun because when he get out of church, my food was always ready. And I tell him he must eat, and he said, he don't want to eat. And I say, oh, and then he is sick. So he put on his pajamas and he go to bed. And I give everything I give him. I give him this house remedies and everything I do, but nothing gets better. And I think the morning you sound better. But on the Tuesday, my little boy, he get these results. And they said he's positive. And I never go for a test for a, I refuse to go because I tell them I must leave my nose alone. But on the Thursday night, this man gets sick and he gets sick. He can't talk. He just cough, cough, cough. He don't stop coughing. I tell him I can't anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. And I ask him, can I phone the ambulance for you? And I say, yes, but I don't know if he say yes because he saw I cry. I cry because I don't know what to do anymore. He was sweating and I can't understand why I don't get sick. I'm next to him. In the morning, we go to the clinic and about past 9, yeah, they call him in and the doctor asked me, do I know what is going on? He say, yeah, said, but he's got COVID and he must go to the hospital. Yeah, so the ambulance come and he's laying there, but he just look at me, and I can't forget every look he gives me. Will never forget it. So and that was on the Friday on the 6th. I will never forget dates as well. The dates he was when I saw him last in that. So on the weekend, the doctor phoned me. Yes, he's fighting for a ICU bed in Tigerwork. The ICU bed, fighting for an ICU bed, but my husband, he was on his feet. Why ICU bed in 2 days' time? Every day I phone. But on the Monday, he was on WhatsApp with me, and he tell me he's very tired. And I tell him, put off your phone, you can put it on again. We're gonna talk this afternoon, but it was the last talk with him. The next weekend we go there, my sister, and when we get there, they said, no, we can't go in. But the Lord was so good. And they said, she said, we can come in. And I tell the security, we all can go. We are nearly 13, 15 in that. And we go to the ICU on 9th floor where he is. I say, and here's the gate, there's his room. I can see all his things, but we can't see his my baby boy. Jump on the chair and see if we can look where's his father, but we can't see anything. I pray and I cry and I pray and I cry in front, and I tell him, here I am, and here's the kids and that. But that gate opened in my hands, and I think by myself, I can't go in there. And it feels if I can faint. The doctor come and the doctor ask, who is his wife? I say, I'm his wife. And he's a tall doctor. And I look at him and I cry. I say, doctor, no, tell him he must come home. I'm laughing when the kids, and I was very confused at that time. I wish I can go in there. And today I'm so I feel I hate myself, yeah. Why I didn't go in there, but I don't know. I was thinking come from the outside and I can give him a sick from outside of on the 25th of August, they also found me to tell me they want to make a hole in here for a pipe that they can breathe better because then today is his lungs, tomorrow is his heart, everything, then his kidneys, I don't know what, it was very strange for me because was only that cough. On the next morning, I found again on the 26th, and the doctor picked up and he tell me he's going to do a video call with me on the 26th. I must say goodbye to my husband. But I don't believe the doctor because the Lord is good, but better than the doctor. I believe my husband will come back because I know he's a strong person. So on that morning, I go to my sister-in-law. A boyfriend's mother and father was buried that morning. So I go to that funeral. I feel strange at the graveyard. And I tell my cousin, I'm going home now because it was very cold that morning. So I come home and my boy asked me, if I phone the hospital. I said, no, you must not phone because no news is good news, I believe. And I still believe you, my husband is gonna make it. And 2-1, I tell my boy he must phone the hospital, but the sister pick up and she said she's going to wait for the doctor. The doctor's gonna phone, and when the doctor phone, I pick up my phone. Doctor explained this and he said to me, he tried to phone me, to everything in his entire life to save my husband, but he can't. My husband was a fighter and they fight and he was fighting, but he passed away 10:30 that morning. It's 1 year and 3 months and I don't know. Yesterday I tell this friend of me, telling you, I feel so, they call it in Afrikaans, onkundig, like somebody stupid or don't take note. I feel like something like that is that because I can't get over it. I don't know how I feel still now. I cry. Sometimes I cry. I'm really struggling with this grieving and I just want I want comfort in this thing. Comfort. I think things is bad for me, but if you look at the next person, some of them lost 3 in one family, some of them, and my husband's death, I take it from in a court thing, you see. But it's a weird feeling, but I know the Lord is going to help.